Insperity presents the Small Business Advocate Show with Jim Blasingame, brought to you by FedEx, CareerBuilder.com, and Palo Alto Software. This is a copyrighted production of Small Business Network, Inc., all rights reserved.
Welcome back, 17 Till. I'm Jim Blasingame. Thanks very much for staying with me. Thanks for being part of my day. My website is smallbusinessadvocate.com. Thank you for going there and using it to your advantage. Lots of stuff there. Don't forget to take our poll question. We have a different question every week. We want to know what you think. When you click your answer, you'll be able to see how the poll's going so far. Don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter while you're there, too. We'll send you that every Sunday afternoon by email. Check out all the stuff there at smallbusinessadvocate.com. Having a great visit with our good friend Guy Sorman. Guy is the author of Economics Does Not Lie. One of his many books that he's written, and I encourage you to find out whatever Guy has to say. You'll be educated and enlightened. Guy, one of the things that we want to talk about this segment though is a great profile in courage.
Yes.
Liu Xiaobo is from China.
Yes.
He is currently incarcerated in China. He also currently won the Nobel Peace Prize for his resistance to the Chinese government. He is your friend.
Well, yes, I know Liu Xiaobo since nearly 20 years.
Wow.
Because I've always supported human rights leaders in China, where I go very often. I think I've been maybe the first Western writer to write about Liu Xiaobo.
Wow.
In my book Empire of Lies about China, which has been published in the United States. So to make things clear, I mean, Liu Xiaobo is a professor. He was one of the leaders of the Tiananmen revolt in '89.
Wow.
Which was a very peaceful demonstration.
Is that when you first met him?
Yeah. And so I met him there, and these people were just asking for reform and democracy and freedom. Well, he was offered the possibility to go into exile to the United States. He refused. He wanted to stay among his own people in China. He remained in China. So he was sent for 5 years in jail and then went out of jail. And he started writing and posting his text on the web because, of course, he can't write in the regular
He can't
magazine.
get public printed, right?
Yeah, so he can write only on the web. So his point, to make things clear, his point is, he says, we Chinese people, we are normal people. We don't live on the moon. We are like you, the Westerners. We want democracy. We want religious freedom. We want what you have.
And they don't have that in China, do they?
And they don't have any of that. And the Communist Party in China has persuaded many Westerners that Chinese do not want democracy, that they are not interested. And Liu Xiaobo said, look, the Communist Party is not the Chinese people.
Right.
The Communist Party is only the authoritarian government, but the Chinese people, they want liberty. They want exactly what you have. We want free market and democracy.
Do you believe that the Chinese would? I mean, it's such a huge country. There's so many people. Do you actually think that many people? Was it 1.6 billion or something like that? Do you think that the Chinese would actually respond to a central government, if a central democratic government?
Well, two answers. First, India is as large as China.
Almost,
and
that's right.
It is a democracy.
You're right about that. That's a good answer.
Second, all democratic leaders and thinkers like Liu Xiaobo in China, they insist on the diversity of China. China should be a confederation. Each province of China is very different from the next. People don't speak the same language. They don't have the same cuisine. They don't have the same customs. So China should be, like India, should be a confederation.
Right.
And
one of the things that when business owners in America think about doing business in China, and they wonder whether the Chinese government and even some Chinese businesses will deal with them in an ethical way, the way that we do business with each other in the United States, how can we expect them not to steal our stuff if they treat their own countrymen this way?
Well, I think that
is that a reasonable question to ask?
Look, any Western businessman, any American businessman going to China knows that it's a very corrupt government, and everyone has to pay money directly or indirectly to the Communist Party. Let's not hide the fact. I mean, there is no rule of law in China. First of all, you have to accept the corruption of the party if you want to make business there. You must accept that.
Right.
It's part of the game. And also, that you are running risks, and there is no rule of law. And if you have problems with the authorities, you will lose. And many American companies did lose,
right?
And because there is no independent justice.
Well, Guy, another thing, I was reading today about his wife.
Yes.
Who's under police arrest, under house arrest.
Yes.
And she said that she wasn't, that it was doubtful that the Chinese government would even allow her to travel to Oslo to collect the prize for him.
Yeah, right now, his wife Liu Xia is a remarkable woman, and without Liu Xiaobo really would not have resisted and survived. But maybe she will be allowed to go and gather the prize in Oslo.
Right.
But then there is a risk that she will not be able to return
be
China.
allowed to come back,
yeah,
which I know she would. Which is the position that she's being put in.
Yeah.
And do you think China has designs on the rest of the world that they would like to have more power, and they're doing it through economic means instead of military force?
Yes, they have design. I wouldn't say on the rest of the world. They have design on the rest of Asia. I mean, they would really like to control all the rest of Asia.
Very
and
interesting.
Be the dominant power.
Very interesting perspective. Liu Xiaobo, ladies and gentlemen, say a prayer for him. A profile in courage. He's recently won the Nobel Prize. That's a very political thing these days, but I think they got it right this time. Tintel, stay with us. We'll be right back with Guy Sorman.
Insperity presents the Small Business Advocate Show with Jim Blasingame, brought to you by FedEx, CareerBuilder.com, and Palo Alto Software. This is a copyrighted production of Small Business Network, Inc., intended for the private use of our audience. Except as otherwise provided by copyright law, all other copying, redistribution, or publication without prior written consent is prohibited. All rights reserved. Prohibited. All rights reserved. Prohibited.